Hello everybody, CVH here, and today you guys are going to see some games with Midrange Scout on the ladder. If you frequently watch me on YouTube or on Twitch, you'll know that I tend to stay close to high-tier decks, or decks that I at least perceive to be high-tier or with potential to do very well, and focusing on playing them, learning them, and exploring new options within them. But every now and then, it's a lot of fun to just take a wacky, gimmicky idea such as this, and just take it to the ladder and see what happens. So that's exactly where today's video is coming from. I played this a bit on stream, and I was pretty happy with the build overall. So let's get into it really quick before we get into the games, so I can explain a bit of the thought process behind this build. You might have seen some scout decks that take advantage of these before, but basically what we're going to be doing in this build is taking advantage of the silence effects. We have 3 copies of Suppress, along with 3 copies of Cursed Spectre to go along with the 3 copies of Shadowfen Priest that you might expect. We're very light on agility in this deck, with only the 3 Goblin Skulks and the Tazcad being mono green cards, so that gives us a 92% proc rate on our stalwart allies over here. So we can really maximize the amount of early pressure we can put on the board. We have really good on-curve plays that you might see in normal mid-range scout decks, such as Young Mammoth, and Thorn Histmage, Blackrobe Necromancer, and Bone Colossus to help close out the game with our other larger things. But mainly we are playing the Siege Catapults and the Imprisoned Deathlords. And these work very well with the silence, as we just mentioned, using the Goblin Skulks to get those suppresses into our hand early. We also have the Encumbered Explorers, which are from Heroes of Skyrim, so another new card we're utilizing in this build. And while we can silence this card and get consistent attacks in, mainly this is fighting for the board for us early and helping us protect the Goblin Skulks. And we also have East Empire Crafter, another new card. 3-drop 2/4, when you summon another creature with 5 health or more, give it +1/+1 in guard. And the Siege Catapult and Imprisoned Deathlord that we are kind of focusing around both get +1/+1 and guard with the East Empire Crafter. So we can either use the Crafter to make them really hard to get by for more aggressive decks, or we can use the silences to then attack with them and start pushing a lot of damage against slower decks that are unprepared for a 5/5 on turn 2 or a 7/7 on turn 4. So it really depends on the situation. We also have the Corrupted Shade, which is new. A fine card by itself, but we can also silence it once the ward has been lost. And then the Corrupted Shade will then stick around. Obviously, the 2 main targets, however, are usually the Siege Catapult and the Deathlord, although the Deathlord more so than the Catapult, because the Catapult actually frequently attacks by itself. This deck doesn't have a whole lot of problems with taking control of the field lane early, or moving to the Shadow lane and taking control of that lane, but then filling that lane so the Catapult can attack. And besides that, obviously silence is a really, really powerful thing in Elder Scrolls Legends, not only to use as a sort of a combo piece with these cards, but also just to get by opposing guards or by opposing threatening effects. So you'll frequently see, as you will in these highlight games, not only will we be using silences on our own guys, but you'll see some aggressive silences as well, because this is definitely a more aggressive strategy, aiming to end the game fast and using overstated guys with downsides that we can silence away to accomplish that purpose. That's about it for the deck. Hopefully you guys enjoy the gameplay, and as always, if you do, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and check out the stream in the description, and I'll see you guys next time. They did have it like that bad in Hearthstone, but they eventually fixed it. But people complained about them fixing it because then the wacky autofill battles weren't as wacky. They looked more like real decks. Like, you know, if you take out the good mid-range cards in a mid-range deck and you put in bad mid-range cards, you basically wind up with what we're playing now, which, while gimmicky, isn't like super wacky. It looks like a decent curve on paper. But yeah, people complained. They complained when it was bad, they complained when it was too good. I mean, I just worry for the new player who doesn't know what to add, so the game suggests him a Somerset Orrery. I think that's a bit too bad to be included ever. Like, at least if I have like an aggro battle mage deck with like 30 prophecies and I autofill the last card, okay, maybe then the game could think Somerset Orrery is appropriate, but it probably is not, right? Alright, we are suppressing that, unfortunately. When will we be able to report people for roping every turn? Probably never, as it should be. I don't really know why you'd want to report them. Free wins are free wins. I always tell the story of my friend who roped someone the first few turns of the game to get a psychological advantage. While not something I would personally do, also technically fine.
The Hist revives. Hist provides.
What kind of hoops would you have to jump through to make Somerset Ori even remotely playable? You'd probably have to change the card. I don't think you can actually... I mean, you could play it like as a... If you take any tier 1 deck and you take one card out for Somerset Ori, it'll probably still be okay, right? Like, it's not going to be the absolute worst thing in history. But, you know, I probably wouldn't do it on purpose. I mean, we could face and Black Worm. He's probably not playing Prophecies, right? Or we could just trade and get it back. But we don't actually get it back for sure. Okay.
Thorns and claws.
Too late for you.
At that point, though, I think we might just play these because it is 6 power and more health than we'd have previously.
Taste my steam.
Legit, if Ori was a 2-mana, 1 charge, it would be remotely playable.
Would protect the Hist.
See, I don't even know. Would I still play it? I don't know if I'd play it, man. It's a whole card in your deck. It's not so much the magic it costs, it's that it's a card in your deck.
The Hist
That does what it does, which is not great. It's kind of sad. Alright, so what I'm not digging here... We have to figure out ordering, right? These don't die, so that's good. I think we trade that in, but not that. We want to try to get the Shade or the Hist Mage back.
Die like a dog.
I mean, we trade the other one in too, obviously, but in a second. So Red Brahmin really screws us, and Giant Snake is annoying, but I wouldn't say it's gonna be, like, insane. But Red Brahmin's obviously the one of we don't want to see here.
You must be cleansed.
I think we're cool with this. And this is a snake too.
You must be cleansed.
Hey. It's doing my job for me, man.
Do you fear death?
Die like a dog.
Is this Midrange Scout? Technically, I guess. Yeah, they fixed the word bug. Beat a tier 1 Ram Scout by a guy who's finished #1 Legend a few times. If that doesn't say at least remotely viable, I don't know what does. Is it, like, optimal? No. Is it ever going to be tier 1? No. Is it the best way to play Midrange Scout? No. But can it win and can you get your Legend with it? Yeah, sure. It's fine. But no, it's not like the best type of Midrange Scout to play.
Don't worry. Got this.
But everyone has a different definition of viable. Like, when I say something's unplayable, I mean, like, there's no reason to play it over something else. So this deck would kind of be unplayable by my standards competitively, but maybe I'm just wrong about it. Testing fun concepts to see if they're better than I expect. How would you make a Chanter Crusader? I honestly don't know. I really like Chanter the most with any green class, because then you have Ungolem, and Ungolem is so sick with those 1-cost actions, because you always get either Ungolem or the Slayers.
I have enough to deal with.
That's silencing the 2/4 was a concession. Yeah, at that point it doesn't even really do much. He just didn't have anything to interact with the board, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't playing any prophecies that are defensive. The only prophecy I really see in Ram Scout often is Brotherhood Slayer, and that wasn't going to stop anything, so he pretty much knew he was dead. Yeah, the Explorer gets shackled for one more turn. I did not play around Witch with that play. I was thinking it was likely that he just had Dark Guardian or something.
The longer the odds, the sweeter the victory.
So basically he played a 2-mana removal card on our Skulk.
What have we here?
I'll scout ahead. There isn't a lock that will keep this one out.
That's interesting, isn't it? I actually kind of want to silence that right now. He goes up to 4, he can ring up to 6 if he attacks me. That is sheer point Dragon Magicka.
I have enough to
Too late for
deal
you.
with already.
The longer the odds, the sweeter.
Might be a little wasteful, I don't know yet. Yeah, if we want a Silence Explorer we can, if that's the best play. If we draw a Thorn Hist Mage, I'll play that instead though. Or like an Imprisoned Death Lord I'd play instead so I can silence that next turn. Yeah, I mean, hitting for 2, it's not like a great silence target, it's just something that the deck can do. Yeah, I just attack there.
Too late for you.
Smack.
Too late for you.
You must be cleansed. I have enough to deal with already.
This Explorer has gotten a lot of damage. That reminds me a lot of his Speaker, though. Very dependent on actually surviving. Why don't people play Mummify in Ram Scout? And it's not so much that they have a problem dealing with a specific card on the board, it's like Ram Scout's main problem is dealing with multiple things, like a wide board. And I don't know, Mummify just doesn't really help with that too much. If it were like mono mirror matches, Mummify gets pretty sick, right? Because you deal with Skeletal Dragon, Baroness, all that kind of stuff, but I don't know if it's great right now.
Mother of mud. I have enough to deal with
Too late
already.
for you.
Mother of mud.
Four mana 7/7 seems okay. Well, it's like a 6 mana 7/7 here. Cards are only as good cost-wise as your efficiency. That's why I talk so much about Magicka efficiency. Like, yeah, you're playing a 4-drop 7/7, but if your curve is awkward and you're having to play it on turn 6 by itself, it costs you 6 Magicka worth of time. And the only reason Magicka is relevant at all is because it's time. It's time. It's like how early you can play things, how much you can play in a specific amount of time. So I'm spending turn 6 to play this. It's like a 6 Magicka 7/7. Not overly exciting. Better than a 6 Magicka 2/2 though. Not better than this all the time. Actually, this graveyard it's better. Even that card wasn't like always a 4 Magicka 7/7. Mana 7/7. Sometimes the Overload could cost you. Back in my day we had Iron Beak Owl and Big Game Hunter. I mean like good Big Game Hunter and good Iron Beak Owl. Those are the days. Damn.
What have we here?
That was a mistake.
1 Magicka off of 9 damage. I think I just go for Black Worm.
I have enough to deal with already.
God, he's gonna Red Brahmin. I know he's gonna Red Brahmin me. That's gonna suck. Actually, no, it's not. I can still win. Yeah, Red Brahmin's not even that bad here because I have 2 Cursed Specters. Alright,
I have enough to deal with already.
get back shot of him.
You must be
Hell yeah. I think. Is that even a hell yeah moment? It's just because it's a 4/4, right? Alright. But yeah, if he Red Brahmins here, he's dead. He's just dead to double Cursed Spectre. Should play Hilltop Stride. I don't even know what that is. I mean, I know it's like one of the battles. I have no idea which one it is. Would you like to see a Big Game Hunter in Tessel? Nah. They already have Fell the Mighty, which is kind of similar to Shadow Word Death. I think that's better, because Big Game Hunter's problem was that it was neutral too. Death comes to us all! Oh, that's so good. Death comes to us all, back to top 20.